Hey guys, Super Bob here. I wanted to make a quick video detailing my method of performing Gateclip and try and help out all the new F.E.A.R speedrunners that are in the works. So, one of the first things you need to know about this kind of trick is that frames are very important in this game. Now, most of the time, you want to be running your game at 60 frames per second. I usually do that by having VSync on, and this keeps my frames at 60 frames per second while I'm doing most of my things in the game. Now, this is disadvantageous during Gateclip because more frames makes it easier to go through the gate. So whenever I'm playing or actively running, I always have to stop, turn VSync off in order to get more frames in order to get through the gate a lot easier, because it makes this trick much faster and much easier. Now, something you have to be worried about if you have a high frame rate monitor like I do, you have to make sure your frame rate is locked at 60 as well. If your frame rate is more than 60, VSync will not keep your frame rate at 60, it'll keep it at some other number. So what you can do in order to prevent that is to go into your display resolution settings right here and go to the Advanced tab and then Monitor, and it will allow you right here to change to 60 frames from 144. Now you have to do this while running in this method of limiting the frame rate in order to make sure that you will have 60 to make other tricks easier, but also be flexible enough to change your frame rate on the fly. Alright, here I am at the Gateclip during the Ellis Wade split. That is the most important gate that we did clip through in this run. The other gate that we actively use right now is a little bit after Norton skip, but it only saves a few seconds since the gate lifts anyway, and it's more of a quality of life kind of thing. This gate saves easily somewhere between 40 to 50 seconds if you do it quickly, and it's a big improvement, so this is definitely the one you want to practice on. Not only that, but this one doesn't move, so this is the easiest to practice on. Now, as you can see up at the top right, I have my game set to 60 for the other parts of the game, and when I come up to this, like I said, I turn VSync off, which allows me to gain more frames. Because of my recording software right now, I'm limiting myself a little bit, but usually I have 300-ish frames, and the more frames, the easier it is to get through the gate. Alright, so now that we got all the setup out of the way, let's actually get to the trick. Now, this gate is segmented into two different partitions in a way, divided evenly down the middle by this middle thing in the center. Now, you can't clip through this. It acts as a block to you, and you can't actually go through it. So you have to choose either side of the fence in order to fully get through the gate. It doesn't matter which side you choose. It's kind of dependent on how you're more comfortable doing it, or possibly if you want to do optimizations, you can clip across the correct side of the gate to save some time, or going around a corner or something like that. But I always tend to prefer the right side because it's easiest for me. Now, you want to kind of just offset yourself from the center line, just a little bit, and you want to look down here at the bottom of the gate right here. Now, the secret to this is to very lightly tap your button presses here. You're going to barely move to the right and barely move forward. Not quite at the same time, a little bit offset, moving to the right first. Vice versa for left. On the left side, you would go left and then forward, and then left and then forward. And you want to barely tap this. You almost want to make it to where you don't move towards the right at all, because if you move too far towards the wall over here, you won't be able to get through the gate. You'll get stuck. You kind of have to start clipping through and succeed somewhere in the middle section of the gate right here. And once you begin to see your fists like this, you know you're on the right track and you're just about to clip through the gate. After this, or maybe a little bit before this, you'll kind of feel yourself get stuck when you start to be able to see your fists. At this point, you can just mash right and forward and you'll get through the gate. Just to show you that it can be done from the other side. See, yeah, you can go through either way. It doesn't really matter. Once you get good at it, you can actually do this pretty quickly, though. That was a little slow, but you can see that it's not very time consuming and it saves a lot of time compared to walking around doing all the rest of the stuff you have to do at this part of the level. Now a trick you can do here, if this is difficult, is to use slow-mo. What slow-mo would do is basically give you just a little bit extra time to hold down the buttons so you don't have to click them quite so fast. And this can be really helpful if you don't have a mechanical keyboard or you just can't let go of the buttons quick enough for whatever reason. It just gives you that little bit of extra time that lets you kind of make things easier on yourself. Yeah, I'm not very good with slow-mo, but as you can see, it does work with slow-mo, and I could hold my buttons quite a bit longer in order to actually get through this gate. And that would be about it. Just remember at some point to go back into your display settings to turn VSync back on before you hit the next trick, and continue on with your way through the rest of this split. Alright, this is Super Bob. Thanks for watching, guys.